Unless you've been living under a rock, you should already know by now that a massive, of course, chemtrailed, orchestrated storm. They're creating the weather chaos, of course. You should already know that. But you should already know that a storm is looming, a big one. It's a massive one that's supposed to affect 180 million people, going all the way to, oh, look at this, Arizona, New Mexico. You can go into Arizona. Arid zone, the desert area, New Mexico, bulk of Texas. Texas is 285,000 square miles. Most of it will be covered with some kind of wintry, as they say, precipitation. Arkansas, look at this, a good chunk of Mississippi, the northern part of Alabama, and a quarter of Georgia, the northern part, of course, you see right there, and all the way up here, up into the northeast. Now, a lot of these weather channels on YouTube, Max Velocity, God, what's the other one I watch? Is it Ryan Hall? Something like that. And just in weather channels in general, some say this could dip down here if the Atlanta area down to just below the Atlanta area with ice. But they're talking about a massive amount of ice, freezing rain being dropped, and snow, and a very thin line of sleet. So this is where we're at right now. It is now technically Thursday. It's very late on a Wednesday night, very early Thursday morning. This is the ice line. This is the rain line on Saturday. But as we move into Sunday, supposedly this will move over here. But a lot of models, I think the European model has the ice line over here, so everything below I-20 will be okay. So the story goes. It keeps flip-flopping. Max Velocity refers to it as a windshield wiper. I think it's Max Velocity. Windshield wiper. It goes up, it goes down the storm, it goes south, it goes north, it goes 100 miles north, it goes 100 miles south. It fluctuates, in other words. The forecast highs, let me get my reading, $1.25 reading glasses on. I guess my Blu-ray glasses from, I think it's Walmart. Anyway, supposedly they block the Blu-ray blue light. Let's see here. Sunday, supposedly in Georgia, we're going to have, looks like a high of about 36. I don't know what the 47 is. Oh no, excuse me, scaring. It's saying 47 in Atlanta on Sunday. That's not what everything else is saying. It's saying, and I got this from weather.com, this image here. Just about every other weather person, meteorologist station is saying the high in Atlanta area is going to be around 33 or so on Sunday, but that could change. You know how to eat it in the South, but I'm giving you a heads up that a lot, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, I showed you, is supposed to get hit really hard. Really, I hope you're prepared. Really hard. The weird thing I want to share with you is that I went to Kroger to look. I got some, what are they, eggs. What else did I get? I got a chiggy, chicken, potatoes, and I'm supposed to get cabbage, but they didn't have any. Supposedly there's a run on cabbage, and then so I said, okay, let me hop on over to Publix and pay top dollar for it. Surely they have cabbage. They were out too. So I don't know what the deal is. It used to be bread and milk in the South, and now there's a run on cabbage also if a storm is about to hit. It's weird, very strange. So this is what it's supposed to look like on Friday to Sunday. Supposedly this is what the ice area in Georgia is going to look like over here. So if you're in the Atlanta area, right around Atlanta, you're on the like borderline of the ice, depending on which weather model you're looking at. And if you're just south of Atlanta, supposedly just minuscule amounts of ice, which will be a nuisance, spotty outages, but nothing big deal. North of South Metro Atlanta, from like above I-20 and all the way up there, it's supposed to be hit. It'll get worse the further north you go. I'm going to keep an eye on this. The reason why I'm sharing this, I know I got a lot of subscribers that are from, well, they're not from America, Europe, and I got subscribers in Australia and other areas of the world, and this doesn't pertain to you. Although I saw Adapt 2030 said that Asia, Was it Asia? Part of Asia and Europe look like they're getting hit with some kind of massive storm. So my question is, could this be the dark winter? Could this be the grid down and a mass kill off of a lot of people? Because it didn't happen here in America in 2025, but I'm wondering if if they're going to try to pull something off like this with this upcoming storm. You know this is not natural. You know this is not an act of God. It's not natural. They're controlling the weather. It's almost like a remote control. Oh, it goes north a little bit, the storm. Oh, now it's a little bit dipped south. Now it's up north. They're controlling all this. So we'll see how it pans out. I know they don't have our best interest at heart. But here you're looking at an image of, I think it's New York City. Let's get the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail posted an article on Fashion Book. It says, doctors warn, I hate pop-ups and I hate commercials. Doctors warn millions to stay inside. So I'm on my cell phone. It pops up. I just happen to open up Fashion Book. And I see the Daily Mail because usually they're clown headlines. I mean, the articles, a lot of them are clownish, right? And so I thought this had to do with like, I don't know, maybe some kind of fog, radiation fog, or maybe there's a new virus. And so I saw this headline on Daily Mail today. It said, doctors warn millions to stay inside this week as just minutes outdoors could be deadly. Now, what am I to think? They're always pushing fake viruses on a Daily Mail, right? They're always pushing that or get your quaxines or measles outbreak or something like that. So I thought that's what it was on my cell phone. I didn't have time to look at it. I think I was at the gym or something like that. Well, it turns out that they're talking about frostbite because of cold temperatures. And this is true. You shouldn't go outside if it's that cold. You better be prepared and have enough clothing on. You better know what you're doing when you step outside in these bitter climates. But to me, this when I started looking at this article, it's the equivalent of McDonald's having to put caution. Your coffee's hot, damn it! Don't chug it right now. Wait till it cools off a little bit. Remember that lawsuit? Some idiot bought a coffee from McDonald's years ago and drank some of it and got their throat burned or something like that. And they sued McDonald's because they didn't know that the coffee was hot. Remember that? How do you not know coffee's hot? You know. Forget it. You're that damn dumb? Well, same thing here. Doctors are warning you. Basically, this article from Daily Mail is saying, warning, Will Robinson, don't go outside if it's like 0 degrees and you don't have much clothing on. Don't stay outside very long. Basically is what this is saying, what should be common sense. But anyway, it's ridiculous. This big storm, or the storm that's supposedly going to be big, let me just read it real quick. As temperatures dip into the teens and lower, teens below zero too. It's supposed to be really cold next week. Now, this is weird. A couple of days ago, I looked at the forecast for next week in the south, in Georgia. And it said, well, highs in the upper 30s through Wednesday, and then 40s, like lower 40s to mid 40s, like Thursday and Friday, somewhere thereabout. Now they've adjusted it to where it's going to be a lot lower than that, or so the story goes. They keep moving the goalposts. They keep changing the temperatures. They keep changing where the storms are going to be. It's ridiculous. An Arctic blast is bringing this season's coldest temperatures to the Northeast and Midwest this week. Cities in New York are expected to see single-digit temperatures, which when I was growing up there for the first 11 years of my life, that was typical. And there's going to be a dramatic swing in Chicago of temperatures plunging below zero. According to forecasts, the regions could see temperatures as cold as negative 39 over this weekend. And whatever happened to global warming? I thought we had global warming. There's no global warming? Or is that just when it's summertime and it gets hot? I'm asking for a friend. There's no such thing as climate change except for the fact that there is, because they're controlling the weather. It's not like it's naturally changing or we're to blame. No, they're changing the weather and they're blaming it on us. So they're saying that a dangerous drop in body temperature caused by prolonged exposure to cold can cause a serious risk to your well-being. Yeah. A dangerous drop in body temperature caused by prolonged exposure to cold, can cause, well, hypothermia can cause you to croak. But we have to have articles like this, I guess, because people are so damn dumbed down that, or it's probably fear factor. But no, it's if your area is going to be fucking cold, 39 degrees below zero, it stands to reasons that you shouldn't be exposing yourself to that unless you know what the hell you're doing. It should not be for a prolonged period of time, of course. But why do we have to do this? Why? Are people this damn stupid? I'm thinking they might be. I'm thinking so. And here I thought this article was about a virus. Don't go outside because, radiation fog or some kind of measles or some shit. That's what I thought initially until I took a look at this. But this storm is supposed to be really bad. I'm keeping an eye on it. Now, for the homeless, I really feel for the homeless. I do. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be homeless. For the ones that can't get in the shelters, which is a lot. I could not imagine what it would be like to be homeless. Regardless if you think they got there because it's their fault or not, it doesn't matter. They're homeless, and I don't know, I have a soft spot for homeless people. Maybe you don't, I do. And a lot of them are veterans out there. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be homeless in a good climate, much less this. I couldn't imagine. So, they're saying with such Arctic conditions, all of a sudden the Arctic has been brought down to here. All of a sudden, even though the world is heating up, right? Even though with such Arctic conditions being brought down to the Estados Unidos, there's a risk of an influx of people going to emergency rooms for hypothermia, as I mentioned before, which is a dangerous drop in body temperature caused by prolonged exposure to cold. Between 15,000 and 19,000 people visit the emergency room in England they call it emergency department, so it's ED, not to be confused with erectile. So it's not called emergency rooms in the UK, it's called the emergency department, abbreviated by Daily Mail ED, which I don't know why they would do that, but okay. Between 15,000 and 19,000 people in the UK visit the emergency room every year due to hypothermia, while an estimated 700 to 1,500 people die from it. Dr. Alina Matina. What you talking about, Willis? That's your name? Having a rhyme like that? You're a poet and didn't know it? Dr. Alina Matina? Well, Dr. Alina Matina she is an emergency room physician at Hackensack University Medical Center in New Jersey. And she said to the Daily Mail, quote, "In the emergency room, we see many cases of hypothermia and frostbite that were entirely preventable. We frequently treat individuals who went out for just a few minutes without proper gear." Exactly. I said, if you're going to go out there for any prolonged period of time, you best know what the feck you're doing. You better be dressed for the occasion. And breathing that cold air in, I don't know how good that is either, constantly breathing it in. I don't know, ask an Eskimo maybe, if you can find one. There's a reason why they're fat. They need it for this cold environment. All right, then the article goes on and on, talks about what to do and what not to do. You should know that you should stay inside if it's bitterly cold out there, all right? What I want to say is this storm is shaping up to be really bad here in the south, but not only that, it looks like it's going to make a move to the northeast, which when I first started looking at this storm a couple of days ago, I didn't hear one peep about it affecting the northeast. Now all of a sudden it's going to affect the northeast. It was supposed to be mainly a southern storm or only a southern storm. But I want you to keep an eye on it. If you live if you live in the United States, especially in the Midwest, the South, and the Eastern Seaboard and the Northeast, you might want to pay attention to this because, well, first of all, I didn't see much going on except for in the other news. Because I wondered, are they trying to distract us, or are they orchestrating a storm to cover up for something that's going on in this region, or just to distract us or kill off conservatives? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But what I want to say is, I looked at other things in news, and it looks like that we're set to acquire Greenland. It looks like we're set to acquire Greenland. That's in the news, and libtards are just being libtard. I mean, they're keeping on these commies. And if you've made it this far into the video, let me share Don Lemon getting ripped a new one by not Mickey Mirage. I came up with that name. I used to not like Nicki Minaj, and I still don't, but I kind of like her a little more than I used to, because she ripped Don Lemon head, a little queer, a new one. So I'm going to attach that to this video for S's and giggles, because I know they're going at it. And you know, I thought Nicki Minaj is a libtard. I guess she claims she's not one now, and her and Don Lemonhead are going at it. And this is hysterical. A diss track. It's a bonus that if you made it this far, stock up. A run on cabbage? Are you serious? Stock up as best as you can. I don't know what to tell you. I guess I'll just end it with this. It is what it is, at any rate. Don't be a troll out there. If you see these trolls, say something. I am eat. Never was a Nicki Minaj fan, but I am now. I am now.
Order in the court, please. Miss Judge on the mic. Bring the choir in. Hey, Don Lemon in the back row. Fake fur, tight pants, and a weak glow. Tryna preach, but he reading from a talk show. Facts all wobbly, stunting for the B-roll. You ain't Peter, you ain't Paul. Those are just the guys you cracked at the mall. Right before you pulled up at a church hall. Don't blame the Christians and act the Paul. Sunday service, families needing prayer. Here you come, put my mic on air. Turn the pulpit to a press event. Now the bailiff taking evidence. Don Lemon, why you so bitter? Crying like a little bitch on Twitter. Unwatchable like Jennifer Welch. Gonna have to start a new show from a cell. Yeah. Order in the court, please.
That little sissy, fake news commie Don Lemon got ripped a new one. And I love it.